Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Hey, it's your brother, Elder Bishop Ithun, back at you with another video. Today's date is the 7th. It's November 7th on a Thursday night. Tonight is the new Sabbath, which came in last week, I believe it was. And I'm just here taking a walk. I got out the house so I could have some privacy and do this lesson here for you brothers and sisters. And if I didn't say when I started the lesson, shalom to the household of faith, the hopeful elect, you brothers and your sisters out there, all right? And this recording is inspired by this video by the priest Shaman, who's in the main camp in New York. And you can see his channel here, which is GMS Overdrive 144. And he has some great videos, so you brothers and your sisters subscribe. Go to his page right now and just hit the subscribe button, all right? And you know what? YouTube is ran by algorithm, so the more you subscribe and you like brothers' videos, it actually pushes it to the top, because they try to blackball us as much as possible. But the likes and the subscribes actually do help, because the algorithm tracks all that stuff. But anyways, so what this brother was talking about here, basically he was speaking about the corruption that goes on in politics, right? And excuse me. And there's a show that used to come on, I think it was Netflix, or it might have been Amazon. I forgot which one it was, but starring Kevin Spacey, and it was called The House of Cards. And I used to watch it. Pretty consistently, but I fell off. So I don't even know what season it's on right now, or if it's still even going. But that show showed you all the conspiracies and all the backstabbing, unrighteous dealings, sexual immorality, murders, all the stuff that goes on behind closed doors in politics, to help sway the people's decisions, to help sway people's opinions, and to, give a certain look to the politicians, put them in a good light, because they do have a lot of enemies. So they murder people, they do seances and rituals and behind closed door deals and manipulations, all types of wickedness, and yeah. And so I got a bunch of scriptures here. I'm gonna go down a list, and I'm just gonna pick a few and see how the spirit goes, because basically, man, this whole system, which the word system means pit, this whole system is designed to destroy Jake. This whole system, the way this system works, I was watching, the way this system works is that the more wicked you are, the higher to the top you become, and the more respected you become in this society. The more bloodshed, blood, stress, fear, all that stuff feeds the system and makes it stronger. It's like Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. What made Freddy Krueger strong was the fear, people's fears. Their fear of him, their despair, their desperation, their tears. It gave him strength and made him stronger. And as soon as people snapped out of it and they were no longer afraid of him, he had no power over them. And that's the same way the system works. The system works the exact same way. It feeds off of people's fear. The whole monetary system works this way. If you pick up the dollar bill and you look on the back of it, there's all types of satanic symbols on the back of it. It's a talismans that you're walking around with. And people do the most ungodly things to get that piece of paper. which even inspired a song, Cream. Cash rules everything about me. Cash rules everything around me. I'm out for presidents to represent me. Dead presidents, which is about what? Money. There's a heavy demonic spirit behind it. And this is basically corruption. The love of money is the root of evil. All this corruption in this world revolves around money. All right, so let's go to the scripts. Let's see what I got here for the scriptures. Hey, let's start off here. Proverbs 11:1. Now, if you look up the word abomination or balance in the scriptures, there's a lot of scriptures where the Most High talks about about unjust balances, right? So let's look at Proverbs 11:1. It says, "A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight." And then Proverbs 20:23 says what? "Diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good." Now, if you check out the justice system, right? There's a representation of the justice system, which is a scale. And the reason it's a scale is because a scale, what? It judges the good and bad, right? In the book of Revelation, it says that the Most High, when he opens the books of life, basically when he judges you, he's going to basically measure the good things, the righteous things you've done, and the wicked things that you've done in life. And the Most High does everything in measurements. This is why when he talks about the wickedness of Babylon, he talks about that her sins have reached unto heaven. Revelation, the 11th chapter, where the Most High talks about measuring the temple or measuring Jerusalem with a reed, which is a measuring instrument. So the Most High deals with mathematics. He deals with numbers. Matter of fact, the word math comes from a math, which is truth. So the truth has to be 100%. Okay, this is why we fact check everything we say. And those who take the truth, a math, and twist it towards untrue, we have to check them. Okay? Because if the math ain't mathing, it ain't correct. And y'all know what that means. 1 + 1 = 2. I don't care which way you put it, 1 + 1 equals 2. Anything else is wrong. It's the same way with this truth. Okay? So diverse weights is an abomination. And what that means, now going back to the scale that I spoke about, back in the ancient days, the way they would measure gold and silver is they would use a scale. If you go by silver or gold, they measure by what? The ounce, and they actually weigh it. Okay? And what people would do back in the day is they would dilute the silver. So they would take a piece of silver. Hold on a second. Wait for this car to go by. So they would take a piece of silver and then they would measure it. Because somebody might say, hey, I want to trade this ounce of silver. And so they measure it. And it's not actually an ounce. It might be less than an ounce. It might be more than an ounce. Because people could take different metals and they could mix it with the silver. They could give you alloy, or it could be 25% silver mixed with something else. But when you measure it, if the scale is off, then they know, hey, this is not pure silver. So what that is, that's a diverse weight. In other words, you try to trick. And this whole entire system, this is what it's built off. It's built off diverse weights. Matter of fact, one of the reasons I did this show is because it had me thinking about the stock market, right? Hold on. The stock market. Now, in the stock market, trading. Now, in trading, you have the stock market. You have the stocks, which people know about stocks. You have futures. You have bonds. You have something called Forex, foreign exchange. So these are different things you can trade. They call them instruments. Most people know about stocks, but they don't know about bonds. They don't know about futures trading. They don't know about trading Forex, because everybody is familiar with the term stocks. But there's different things the stock is what you call an instrument. There's different instruments you can trade, as I mentioned before, right? Now, a perfect example is, let me see if I have it here. If I have, let me see here. If I have some Forex, I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, right here. See, you have EUR, Euro USD, USD CAD. So Euro USD means the Euro versus the USD dollar. USD CAD means the US dollar versus Canadian dollar. USD Japan, this is the US dollar versus the yen. And if you look on the right hand side of this screen here, you'll see the numbers in red. You'll see fluctuations. Now, what that is that is the price. For instance, the EUR USD, which is Euro USD, that's the price of the euro versus the price of UND and USD. And as you can see, by the second, it changes. It changes. So this is diverse weights, you know? And this is what happens when you use this man's fiat money, this fiat currency. They can basically change the value of it at any second. As you can see there, the euro dollar versus the USD. I have the USD versus the Canadian dollar. I've got the GBP, which is Great Britain versus the US dollar. And then you have the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. And as you can see, for all of them, the numbers are changing by the second. You see? So with gold, the value doesn't change. With silver, the value doesn't change. Real silver and real gold as currency is always going to be the same. But with this fiat money that we use, this fake money that we use today, the value of it could change by any second. So you have $1 in a bank today, and tomorrow that same dollar could be worth less. If you put $1 in a bank today and you come back 1 year later, you will have less than the money you put in today. So what does it make really to save money in a bank? You're not saving money, you're actually losing money, okay? Because the dollar is a depreciating asset. And depending on the day, depending on the market, depending on the news, it could appreciate, it could go up. But as you can see on the screen right now, the numbers are red because the US dollar is going down. See that DXY right there? That's the US dollar currency. It went down. Now, if you look at the, what was I looking at earlier? Let me see if I could bring it up. Okay, the NASDAQ is up. It's skyrocketed today because of the elections, okay? But you can see this shit doesn't make sense. We just saw the DXY, which is the value of the dollar. That's the actual, if you want to know the health of the US dollar, you look up the DXY. So that shows that the dollar is down, it's red. But right here, you just see green for the week. You see, so it's a game. This is what you call a diverse weight. That's an abomination to the Most High, okay? So let me get another scripture here. A good one from the Apocrypha. Hold on a second here. I got a list here. It's not the one I want. Let me see. Okay, Ecclesiastes 10 is good, but there's another one I want. Hold on. Nope. There's here's one. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 10. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 10. Okay, so I need this. Let's go to Apocrypha. I don't know why it's not. 2. Hold on. 2 and 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. Man. Now, the poor righteous man is who? Israel. Really, this day and age, is the elect, is all those that try to live righteous. Because as you can see with the whole Diddy and Hollywood, those guys are so-called celebrities. And do you see how they made their way to the top? They did it by what? Unjust dealings? They did it by wickedness, not by righteous acts or righteous deeds, but by wickedness. And the point I was making earlier is that in this current kingdom, this is how you get to the top. So that tells you who the power of this world is, who do people worship in this world, who is a system built after, this system is built, to worship Satan, the devil. Because in order to make it to the top in this kingdom, you have to perform wicked acts. You have to perform wicked deeds, And I was watching a video yesterday, and they were showing Kim Kardashian. She was walking in a store, and she had I think she was in an Escalade, and you had a bunch of big ass Jake bodyguards. They were rushing out to open the door for her. She got out the car, then they ran to the doors of the store to open the door for her. And I said, yo, this chick, this whore, this slut, which is well known. Hold on a second. She was able to make it to such a level in a society to where she doesn't even so much have to open her own doors. And how did she get there? She got there by sucking, sucking BBCs in front of a camera for the whole world to see. And because of that, she's esteemed as a celebrity. She's got She's got endorsements. She's got makeup lines. She got clothing lines. She's got respect in this kingdom for sucking BBCs on camera and spreading her legs open. The same as these other idols and so-called role models. You either get there by robbing somebody, by killing somebody, by opening your legs for somebody, or by taking it from behind, playing butt darts. And if you do these things, you will become a celebrity. You'll become a king in this world. But if you go out there and teach the scriptures, if you try to tell people to do right by the Most High, you will get demonized in this world. So that's why the Lord said what? Love not the world, neither the things that are in it. For the love of the world is enmity with the Most High, because these are the things you have to do in this world to get respect. You have to be a lowlife. You have to be a murderer. You have to eat unlawful foods. You have to sacrifice your own children to make it in this world. You get a reward of being a celebrity and a household name by sacrificing your children. You see? So everything in this kingdom is backwards. The things you're supposed to be put to death for, according to the laws of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, in this world, you get respect, you get praise for it. You see? That's why the scriptures say what? Folly is set in great dignity. Folly is wickedness. All right? So let's see what else I have here. There's another scripture that was like hitting home for me. Let me see. Let's see which one it was. I mean, Ecclesiastes 10 is good. I said that 2 times, so I guess I'm going to have to read it, but there's another one. Let me see. Man, there was one I had. Okay, so I think I'm going to read Ecclesiastes 10 and 9, 10 and 8. Yeah, so did I read? I didn't read that all the way, huh? Read Wisdom of Solomon 10. So let me read that again. Verse Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 10. It says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Oh, I forgot to mention this. The age, let me see what the age of unemployment is nowadays. Let's see. The age of unemployment, 2024. Has unemployment increased? at 4.1, which I believe that's a lie. I mean, how does that even make sense? In September 2024, the number of job losers and persons who completed temporary jobs in the U.S. stood at about 3.23 million. Okay, and I know these numbers are way higher. Washington, D.C. has a top unemployment rate. All right, well, screw this. I can't find what I'm looking for because it says it's unchanged, was unchanged. Because, you know, they lie on these reports. They always lie. But I'll tell you what I see with my own two eyes, man. With my own two eyes, I've been seeing more and more elderly working. I go to old school store called Woolworth. I don't know if y'all brothers recognize Woolworth, but you go to Woolworth, you go to Target, you go to Walmart, and I'm seeing these senior citizens, and they're working. Again, they're having jobs, they're working, you know, Starbucks, you got some old people. And I'm like, yo, back in the day, I don't ever remember seeing people this elderly having to go out and get a job, but now they do, you know? And I heard a report that, you know, I remember, man, back in the days of shit, man, what's that show with Al Bundy? Damn, slag it, bro, you know, the show with Al Bundy, Married with Children. Now, Married with Children, he was a shoe salesman. He had more than one vehicle. He had what, two kids, two children, right? He had two children. He had a wife. He had a house. And all that was possible on the salary of a shoe salesman back in the day, right? Now here it is, 2024. Supposedly we've progressed, right? This has progressed. America has progressed since then, they say. Came a long way. You got females finally got their rights that they wanted, you know. Those who are in the closet finally able to come out the closet and dance around, you know. So according to them, this place has become has progressed, right? But now kids that are graduating school, they're not finding jobs, right? They have huge student loans because it's very, very expensive to go to college these days. You know, I remember you used to be able to go to state college for what? Not that much. It was very well priced. I also remember you used to be able to go to a community college if you didn't have money, right? If you didn't have money, you get financial aid, or you could get a grant, or you get a scholarship. And if you couldn't get into a good school, then you had the community colleges. But now, it's very, very difficult or very expensive to get in school. And once you graduate, the debt is enormous, right? And most of these kids, they're not finding jobs. They're not finding jobs, and the student loan, man, that's something you can't get rid of. You could file for bankruptcy. You could do whatever. The only way out of that is when you underneath the ground. It's the only way out of a student loan. All right. Even if you can even get rid of IRS debt, but you can't get rid of a student loan. You know. But these college kids that are graduating, they're not finding jobs. They have huge student loans, and that so-called American dream, they're finally realizing that, man, this dream, this is bullshit. This ain't no dream. It's a nightmare. You know, they have no chance of getting a home because that's totally out of the picture. The price of homes these days is totally out. You know, what we grew up knowing as rich people or well-to-do is now lower middle class. Okay, and these houses, to purchase a house, the prices are astronomical. And so college kids are living together. You know, it might be a whole bunch of them. They'll rent a townhouse or something together. You know, they broke up the family because women want to get with other women, or they want to have their feminist rights and be like men. So here, you got what you want. But now everybody's single, all right? And yeah, the price of the stocks on cat food and box wine is exploding because of the market of single women these days. But hey, you get what the fuck you want, right? That's what you want and that's what you get. But yeah, now even to go to college now, if you want to get into a prestigious field, so let's say like something like therapy, you want to be a therapist. Now, to be a therapist, it's impossible for you to be able to afford the education, to be a therapist, to be a doctor. And so what you need to do is you need to take out a loan or you need to take out a grant. But the way they make it now is that you have to have supremely good credit. Your credit score has to be impeccable for you to get a grant. So what they do is they made it in such a way that the rich people can afford, or the well-to-do can afford to further themselves, but the poor are locked out. You know, they're stuck in their position. And what they're doing is something that we've always, Proverbs 29:2, you know, the servant is borrower to the lender. That scripture, it might be Proverbs 29. One of y'all could put in a comment. But what they're doing is they're getting rid of the middle class and they're creating the rich and a lower class. So basically, they're creating a society to where you have the rich and the poor, and the rich are ruling over the poor. And they did this big time with the C-19, you know? When the C-19 hit, what that basically did is eradicated the middle class and small businesses, you know? So that there was a further of a gap between the rich and the poor. And this is what they want, you know? So yeah. But let me see what else we have as far as scriptures that I want to bring out. Because the main point, man, is that everything is fucking rigged. Everything, even the market, you know? Like, you got brothers, some brothers in GMS, they're very heavy into the market, studying the stock market. And I've been kind of checking out day trading and how the market works. And I came to realize that this market right here you're looking at on the screen, the stock market, and all the different instruments I spoke about, you know, foreign exchange, USD versus Japanese yen, bonds, futures. I came to the realization that all this shit is ran by algorithms, by AI, artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence also, they create news articles. So when you watch the news, when you read a newspaper, when you go on these websites and you wonder how all these websites got the same freaking title, you know, the same exact news, basically word for word. Well, it's because there's an algorithm that prints out these stories, you know, and the algorithm controls the markets. Because the market, when you're looking at the stock market, what you don't realize is this stock market is all huge companies owned by the elites. They call them whales, right? You got Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's, you know, he's up there, but he's small fish compared to some of the other guys out there. Because you got to remember, man, anybody that you read about a lot or you hear about or that's famous, they're really at the bottom of the totem pole. So you got huge companies like Vanguard and BlackRock, to name two of the biggest. And they're the ones that actually move the market, you know? But they can't come out and say, hey, this is Vanguard or BlackRock, and look, we're going to drop the market so we can sell it to some other buyers that you know, so we can make some money. They're not going to say that. So what they're going to do is the artificial intelligence will print out some news, right? We'll print out some news and say, hey, we just started, China just is testing some nuclear missiles, or Putin said this, or Putin said that. And the next day, the market is red. You know, all of a sudden, everything just drops. And what that is that was just an artificial intelligence printing out news and media to justify the move that the stock market just did, you know? Because the AI runs everything. The AI runs the market, the AI runs the media. You know, when I say the AI runs the media, I mean that they print out the articles. I could go on ChatGPT right now, and I could tell it to print me an article for today about, you know, some Russian spies just launched a bot attack on on Google.com, and they'll create me a straight up article, newspaper article, in 2 seconds, and you read it, and the shit sounds real. You know, it's a legit newspaper article, and so this is what they do. And if you notice, there's AI running everything now. You go on Instagram and you scroll down Instagram and you see some old footage, you know, of something, or you see chariots, or you see anything, and the shit is something else created by AI. So basically, they're creating a world to where you don't know what's real and you don't know what's not. And they're doing it on purpose because they want people to lose their sense of reality, so that they're floating and they're just floating around, not knowing what's what, you know? And this is why it's so important to be rooted in the scriptures, to have that foundation. The scriptures speak about how the people shall grope in noonday. When you grope in noonday, that means it's dark, you're stumbling on shit, and you're looking for something to grab onto, to give you some footing, to give you some foundation, all right? You know? So let me see what else I have here for the scripts. What else I got? Here, let me read James 5 is a great one. Amos 5 is good. Just want to kind of see what else we got. The Apocrypha. Tobit 4 is good. These are all great scriptures. I think I'm going to read Ecclesiastes. Probably ended on that. Ecclesiastes 10 and 8. Let's go there. Ecclesiastes 10 and 8. See if I can. Ecclesiastes 10 and 8. Man, the justice system, forget about it. The justice system is completely foobarred, man. Holy shit. The justice system, you know, I'm telling you, watch this brother's video. But man, I personally know people that are in the justice system that deal with courts. I mean, that deal with high level judges, high level lawyers, prosecutors, attorneys, you know, and man, they tell me about the fucking corruption, man, you know, because we always, you know, I learned this from the apostles, of course, that the reason why they call it a court is because it's all a game. You know, because where do you play sports? You play it on a court. So it's called a court because it's a game. And the judge is a referee, and everybody else in there are players, and you're the unknowing victim, you know, and you might have paid a shit ton of money to hire a lawyer, but these lawyers, they're all in cahoots with each other. All these lawyers are in cahoots with each other. They'll be there in a courtroom, right? And your lawyer might be duking it out with the other lawyer for the other party, you know, and they're in there having a war, you know, and all that. But then what happens is, after the court is let out and it's lunchtime or dinner time, these motherfuckers are at the bar together, laughing, you know, talking about the case, talking shit about their clients with each other, you know, cracking jokes, getting drunk, going to parties, you know, like they're cool, you know, splitting a bill. Hey, I got you on this one, Joe, you know, covering each other's bills. And then what they do is they make a deal with each other. Say, look, man, you know, I'm gonna have my client give me another 30 G's so I could promise him I'm gonna win him the case. And you know, I'll hit you off with 15% of that, you know? And they say, all right, cool, we'll do that. And then they go to the courtroom and guess what? You might win a case, you know, but it was all a game. Them motherfuckers all know each other. You know, the judges, they all know each other. The lawyers, they all hang out together, man. A lot of them went to the same school together. They were in the same classes. They're all buddies, you know? So when you walk in there, it's a fucking game. You might get a public defendant. The public defendant is getting paid by the state. So why would they be on your side? He don't eat off of you. He eats off the state. So the whole shit is a game. Everything's a game, you know? And these high-paying attorneys like a Johnny Cochran, you know, somebody like that, who charge an exorbitant amount of money, well, them people, they're good, they're so good, and they win cases because what? They know people, you know? You got some lawyers that are very networked, you know? They're very networked, and they know other high officials. They know judges in high positions are cool with them, you know? They network with them, they hang out with them, their wives know each other, things like that. And so these people are very connected. So you hire somebody like that and you pay them an exorbitant amount of money, really everybody's getting paid. Not just that lawyer, but he's sharing that with everybody he's cool with, you know? And this is how they win the cases, man. So it's all corruption, it's all bullshit. This whole entire system, all right? So, Slakia, Ecclesiastes 10. So let's read verse 7, start there. It says, pride is hateful before the Most High and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. Verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, right? We're just speaking about the court system, how you get screwed over in the court system. And it's all about who knows who, how much money you got. Has nothing to do with justice. It's all corruption. That's unrighteous dealings. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, which is whole world. America was gone by what? Deceit. All right? And a lot of the way they did that is by what? By their paperwork. You know? By the paperwork. Contracts. Those are riches gone by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. And that's talking about what? That's talking about the translation from Esau. Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So this kingdom is going to be translated from one people to another. Because when Esau was in control, when Esau has rule, Esau destroyed the earth. He destroyed the people. You know, he destroyed morality. Take America now and compare it to not even that long ago. Compare it to 50 years ago. The way the women dressed, the way dressed, you know, Jake behaved, and the women behaved. It's complete night and day. You know, in a short period of time, from when I was a young kid till now, the world has changed drastically. Drastically. So Esau has done a shit ton of damage in a short amount of time. He truly is the wicked. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. Lord's will, this was edifying. I'm saying shalom. All praises to Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushai. Ba'ashim Kakwadash. Shalom.